Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday evening. David Paul with you here in the KHOU 11 Weather Center on another day where we've had another round of rain and thunder. This was the second or third day in a row where it came in the morning and just made a mess of the morning commute. It's fizzled out here going into the evening. We expect things to be quiet overnight. We're going to do it again tomorrow. I think it gets started mid-morning tomorrow and then into the early afternoon. That's the 70% chance for rain and thunder going into your Wednesday. So one more really wet day Wednesday. And then after that, things are going to change, lowering rain chances and then dropping them off to about nothing going into the weekend. Look at temps back into the mid to upper 90s, which will come with the very uncomfortable heat indexes that we know and love in Houston. Until then, we've got one more day where I think clouds and rain will really keep temperatures under control. Tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., that's the window when we expect our next round of rain to swoosh through here from west to east with rain and thunder, some heavy downpours. I think we'll see 1 to 3 inches of rain in some spots tomorrow. So the threat is going to be street flooding. We're not expecting issues with bayous or structure flooding, street flooding, but that's a big deal here in our commuter city. So be very careful driving. And again, if you can stay home and work from home tomorrow during a stormy day, be a good day to do it. Looking at the flood risk across the state, tomorrow will be another day where we're in a 2 out of 4. Street flooding is our threat. That's the yellow. And then out in West Texas, they're expecting another maybe 8 to 10 inches of rain in some spots out here. From San Antonio west to Del Rio, it's a high flash flood risk. They had flash flooding here last night. We may repeat it again overnight tonight into Wednesday. So the flash flood risk out here in the hill country is high. And it is more dangerous here because they have the elevation that heavy rain gets funneled and focused into the little river and creek valleys. So low water crossings and structures anywhere near the river out here, rivers west of San Antonio, are under the gun for a high flash flood risk on Wednesday. Outside here in Houston, it looks gloomy. It looks like it could just start storming at any moment. We don't think it's going to. Just cloudy skies. Bush at 78, Hobby 81, Pearland 81, Sugarland 79, Conroe 77. Once again, everybody has the temperature held down because of the rain and clouds, which certainly is a fringe benefit. I do enjoy the cooler weather. It helps with the AC bill. We are going to be cranking the AC by the end of the week and the weekend, so enjoy it while it lasts. Looking at Bush Cotton Little Airport. Let's see, somebody's about to take off coming down the runway here. Got another fella taxiing out to go take off. Everything's moving out here. No rain, just cloudy skies. High temp today, 79. That's it. Yeah, okay, glitch. The camera's moving slow. There he goes. I wonder where they're off to. 79 the high temp, came at 3:59 this afternoon. 94 is normal, so just the impact of the clouds and the rain. 103, the record on this day back in that hot, dry summer of 1980. Today's low was 73, normal low is 76. So even a little bit cooler than normal on the low end this morning with the rain and thunder coming in early this morning. I wanted to show you the forecast feels like temperatures. So this is tomorrow. The heat index temps tomorrow, and they're nothing. With the rain and clouds and thunder showers expected tomorrow, feeling like it's in the 70s and 80s in most spots. So tomorrow is the last day where for a while we get a break from all our heat and humidity because of clouds and rain. Let me show you what it looks like on Thursday. Yeah, heat index is back to 104, 106. So Thursday is going to be a day where we're flirting with heat advisory criteria. 108 where we turn on the heat advisory. It looks like we may be just below that, but not by much. So get ready to start using all our hot weather smarts, teachers, parents, coaches, as we head into Thursday. And the weekend will be very hot and humid as well. 12-hour rain totals. You can see all the rain we had this morning, most of it just north of Houston. We'll look at that in a minute. 12-hour totals out in West Texas. They had, over the past 12 hours, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain in a widespread area out here. But the difference is out here is that in Uvalde, up to Conca and Montel, you've got all the hills and the small mountains out here, and it focuses that rain into those channels, rushes down, and causes the real life-threatening flash flooding out there. Back to Houston, many spots across Montgomery County had 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. But again, our terrain is very, very flat, so we don't get the rushing water, but we do get it rising. Haven't had any significant problems with flooding. That's good. 5 inches of rain toward Cleveland. This is just from this morning. 5 inches south of Montgomery, 5.5 up there north of FM 1736. For Houston, Harris County had about an inch of rain, maybe an inch to an inch and a half from the morning showers on this Tuesday morning. And let's see. Okay, we had a flood advisory up here across Montgomery County for lots of little high water spots left over from the 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain you had up here, but they've let that go. So things are improving up there in Montgomery County. Still have a little bit of rain, light sprinkle showers showing up. Waller County, southern Austin County from Sealy to Columbus. That's a little bit of a wet drive on I-10 to the east and west. But that's it. Things continue to follow the modeling, which says we're going to just have a quiet evening. This is 8 o'clock this evening. No rain depicted on future track. Through the overnight, things look relatively quiet. We should, if the forecast verifies, wake up to conditions at 6:30 in the morning that are mostly dry, which would be a change from the last couple of mornings where we had torrential rain at 6:30 in the morning. So tomorrow, the rush, you may be able to get away with it, but it won't last long. By the time we get into 9 o'clock, see how this begins to bubble up? So this is when the atmosphere is going to get unstable. We've got a disturbance coming in from the west. So it's a mess by 9 a.m. And if you are going to Austin, San Antonio, down to Victoria tomorrow morning, they're already getting heavy rain by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We see our rain and that disturbance come in from the west. The rain coverage expands going into 12:30. So that is a wet and stormy middle of the day. Lunchtime looks like an absolute mess across our area, Houston, Galveston, and the greater Houston area. Things really begin to improve going into 2:30 in the afternoon. So we'll drop the weather alert after 2 o'clock. Maybe some lingering wet spots out there. And then going into tomorrow afternoon, by this time tomorrow afternoon and evening, a carbon copy. Just cloudy, but things quieting down. How much rain are we going to get tomorrow? Doesn't look like as much as the past several days. Modeling giving us a widespread ½ inch to an inch across the lighter green colors here. Maybe some spots get up to 1 to 2 inches of rain, but we should be able to handle tomorrow's rain pretty well. It looks like that disturbance is going to move through pretty quickly and not sit on us. Had a boundary kind of stall out across Montgomery County earlier this morning. That's why we had such high rain totals. We don't have that in play for Wednesday. So although we're going to get rain and thunder mid-morning through early afternoon, it should be moving and as I like to say, swoosh through and not sit on us on Wednesday. Good. So Wednesday's numbers, 20% rain chance at 7 a.m., but even before noon and going into noon, we will ramp up the rain chance to 70%. That's our window of rain and thunder. Back down to a 20% chance for a lingering sprinkle shower by 4 o'clock as we see things settle down again. Tropics are quiet. Cloud debris coming off the mainland United States into the Gulf. Nothing developing here. Look at how the cloud tops are being blown off to the east. That's wind shear out over the western Carib. So nothing's going to develop there. We've got dust out there again. No tropical development here expected for the next 7 days. Always get an update each day, so nobody gets caught off guard. Dust continues to be the big player out here. And as we've mentioned many times, dust is quite often thickest this time of hurricane season, June, July, the early part of the season. We have thicker dust. It's one of the reasons that we quite often start June and July with very low activity in the tropics like we're having now, because the dust is a sinking dry layer of air. It's the opposite of what you need to get a tropical system going. You need rising moisture. And the dust continues to come off of Africa. It's interesting, going into the middle of July, Sunday, there's more dust coming, but it's not as thick as it has been. So it may be that, as is statistically common, we start out very dusty in May, June, and the first half of July. Second half of July into August, we see the dust statistically begin to thin out a little bit, which can also be where we begin to see statistically more tropical activity, but nothing expected for the next 7 days. Do get an update every day, regardless. 70% rain chance tomorrow. Again, it comes in the middle part of the day, late morning through early afternoon, then tapers down. And then, if you like the rain-cooled air, you're going to miss it. 20% chance for a thunder shower Thursday and Friday. So look, there will be a couple of thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday. Rain chances don't go away. There will be just much less coverage. And then we do expect them to kind of go away as we get under the heat dome, hot and humid, mid-90s, upper 90s. Heat index is well over 100. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's going to be a hot and sticky weekend. Coming up, every plant, tree, and blade of grass in Houston is going to grow like crazy with all the soil moisture we've got in place over the past couple of days. All right, that's where we stand. Have a good evening, everybody.